President Underwood, faculty and staff colleagues, parents, and other distinguished guests, and most importantly, class of 2021. When I told my wife, who was seated here in the front row, that I'd been asked to deliver this year's baccalaureate address, despite the fact, full disclosure, President Underwood, that I'd never attended a baccalaureate ceremony in my 21 years here at Mercer, she laughed and suggested that I should think of it as my love letter to the class of 2021. She reminded me that I wrote pretty good love letters when I was a young man back in the day. Way back in the day, she stressed. So, marital snark aside, the notion of a love letter resonated with me. So here goes. Dear class of 2021, my sincerest apology for the world that you will inherit from me, my beloved. It was not my intention to leave it in such a state. You deserve so much better. You deserve a world that is more full of clean water to drink, of clean air to breathe, of quality educational opportunities. A world that is more full of joy, of laughter, of hope, of meaning. You don't deserve this mess that I've left you. A world that is so polluted and ignorant. One with so much anguish, so many tears, so much despair, so racist and misogynistic, so hateful. I have failed you, my beloved, and I want a do-over. I want a chance to go back in time and make things better for you. I want to go back to 8th grade and give Lisa a hug and a smile rather than tease her for the way that she looked. I want to go back and not cheat on that 10th grade sociology test. I want to go back and decide to be honest with my first girlfriend rather than lie to her and break her heart. And so much more. You might be wondering how any of these moments from my ancient history could possibly matter to you today, and rightfully so. But on the other hand, what might the world be like today if I made better decisions back then? If I didn't tear others down so much, or cheat or lie, then maybe the people in my sphere of influence wouldn't either. And maybe all the people in their spheres wouldn't. And just maybe the whole world that you stand to inherit from me would be better. More full of joy, more full of laughter, hope, and meaning. If only I had thought of you, my beloved, way back then. But I can't change the past, for it is safely locked away, and none of us has that key. But perhaps we can use the past to change the future, your future. Maybe you can learn from my failures and decide today to bequeath a world of tomorrow that is far superior to the one you've inherited. So if you would, please indulge me over the next few minutes as I share some of the things that I've learned along the way, so that you might leave this place better than you found it, because I love you. Number one, what has taken us far too long to grasp, my beloved, is that until further notice, this is the only habitable planet we have, and we have not been good stewards. In his book, The End of Nature, Bill McKibben writes, quote, "If the waves crash up against the beach, eroding dunes and destroying homes, it is not the awesome power of Mother Nature. It is the awesome power of Mother Nature as altered by the awesome power of man," unquote. Humanity possesses a seemingly infinite natural ability to subdue and dominate, to exploit, to make changes to suit our needs. Unfortunately, some of the changes have had unintended consequences, my beloved. We burn wood, oil, and gas for heat, but the process dirties the air we breathe and damages our lungs. We clear forests in order to plant crops and feed ourselves, but the process unleashes new pathogens and destroys ecosystems. My generation and those before mine have perfected the dark art of sacrificing an abundant tomorrow for the immediacy of our daily bread. And as a result, not only is our future conditional, but our now is as well. I'm so proud of you, my beloved, for more fully grasping the magnitude of our stewardship problem and realizing that each and every one has a role to play in maintaining our planet's delicate homeostasis. For your generation, environmentalism isn't about hugging trees, but is a matter of global justice. You, my beloved, more thoroughly and sincerely than we've ever been before, are truly sympathetic to the dire plight of the most vulnerable among us. You know who will bear the brunt of the suffering as temperature and sea level rises, as glaciers and permafrost shrink, and as the wildfires rage. You know exactly what's at stake. My generation knows too, my beloved, but we have had neither the courage nor the collective will to act. You do not lack the courage. You do not lack the collective will. And it is up to you to set things right. Push us out of the way if you must. Time is of the essence. And speaking of time, number 2. It is time for the age of glass ceilings to come to an end, my beloved. In her book, We Should All Be Feminists, Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie writes, quote, "The idea of gender roles is absolute nonsense. Do not ever tell her that she should or should not do something because she is a girl." Unquote. When you were young, we would tell you, intentionally or otherwise, that you can't play because you are a girl, that you can't fight because you are a girl, you can't strive, can't climb, can't reach the top, you can't win because you are a girl. We edited you, my beloved, so methodically edited you over the years that many of our precious girls have learned to edit themselves. But now you're a woman, my beloved, and I'm so proud of you. I'm proud that millions of you put on pink hats and marched in solidarity for equal treatment. I am proud that hundreds and thousands of you are finding your voice, and with it, you're telling us, #MeToo, #Time's Up, and #NeUnamanos. I hear you, my beloved, #He for She, but I'm old, and my memory is failing, and what is known today may be forgotten tomorrow. So, you must continue to shout. You must never stop kicking down doors. You must never stop shattering glass ceilings, because I need constant reminders. It is unfair, my beloved, I know, that you have to struggle now and forever, because I am so dense and forgetful. So don't do it for me. You must play. Not to prove anything to me, but because little girls are watching. You must fight. Again, not to prove anything to me, but because there are little boys out there who are watching. You must climb. No, not for me, but because other women are watching. You must win, because the whole world is watching. And speaking of watching, number 3. We watched for 9 minutes and 29 seconds as a man's life was drained from his body. Ibram X. Kendi, author of the book How to Be an Anti-Racist, puts it this way, quote, "Race is a mirage, but one that humanity has organized itself around in very real ways," unquote. It does nothing but divide, does nothing but allow the ruling races and classes to continue ruling. It, and not the media or the press, has been the true enemy of the people over the centuries. I am so proud of you, my beloved, for your thoughtful and peaceful activism over the last 12 months or so. Much of the world had chosen to sleep through the everyday horror of racial injustice, but you have awakened us. Your movement, your crusade, in fact, your revival has become so colorful, so beautiful, so loud, that we can no longer turn a blind eye. Some might even suggest that social justice has become your religion. And while I'm not so sure that it should be anyone's God, I am sure that God was with the late John Lewis and hundreds more as they crossed the Pettus Bridge back in 1965. I am sure that God was with George Floyd during his final 9 minutes and 29 seconds. That he was with Trayvon Martin and Philando Castile, Tamir Rice, Ahmaud Arbery, Dante Wright, and 13-year-old Adam Toledo. God was with Breonna Taylor on that fateful night, piercing the darkness. There is darkness all around, my beloved, but the light is within you. As the brilliant Amanda Gorman quietly shouted to the world on January 20th, there is always light, if only we are brave enough to see it. If only we are brave enough to be it. I beg you, my beloved, to be it. To never relinquish your light to the dark places. That's a lot, my beloved, I know. Let's see, I've only tasked you with saving the planet, with ending misogyny, and with tearing down racism, right? That's all I've asked you to do. And that's only part of the mess that I've left you with. When you get your master's and PhD, I'll come back to talk to you about economic inequality, the fragility of our democracy, and religious hypocrisy, but that stuff is for another day. You spent 4 years, more or less, here at Mercer University. You came to study biology, art, economics, engineering, and many other topics. As a result of your time here, you are undoubtedly prepared to embark on a career in those things. I've spent 21 years here and truly believe in the university's mission that you heard a few minutes ago: to teach, to learn, to create, to discover, to inspire, to empower, and to serve. Teach, learn, create, discover, inspire, empower, serve. Are you ready? Are you ready to change the world and leave it better for those who will inherit it from you? I know you are, my beloved. I know you are. All my love, André. Thank you.